Okay, in this video what we're going to do is create a custom collision meshes for our wonderful arch here and export them to UDK via Blender's FBX exporter. Now, just a little heads up on this. Let me just go to the UDN site. If you go in and search for the Unreal FBX Importer User Guide, okay, now it says here skeletal meshes, static meshes, blah blah blah. Look for this page. Now if we go down, and this is the important part that we're looking for at this moment in time, that collision models are created automatically on blah 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 blah. Naming rules for collision models in FBX use the following format. Now we don't want a box primitive, we don't want a sphere primitive, we want a convex mesh. Now this is very important here. You need to prefix it using UCX underscore, then the name of the mesh, and then we're going to obviously make a couple of bits and pieces so that you use sort of like 3 different sections and you just add it 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go back into Blender. Let's see how it's done. So as much as I dislike using hotkeys, I'm gonna have to do it because otherwise I can't get the size of the mesh that I want. So first thing we're gonna do is Shift A, add a cylinder. Now before I go any further, this cylinder we're using for a collision mesh, so we want it to be as simple as possible. And if we look here on the left hand side, it says add cylinder, it says 32 vertices. Now come on, we don't need that sort of size. Yeah, so what we're going to do is change that down to 6, which gives us a 6-sided cylinder. So now what we can do is actually go in, change the size, 32, come on, 32, and 1, 2, 8. Now how do I know this? Well, I built this last night and tested it, so I know exactly what the sizes I need. Same again with the locations. We're not going to go on X, we're going to go on Y, 96 and up by 64. So we've got 1 there. Now before, obviously we're going to duplicate it to go there, but before we do that, what we're going to do is change the name of this cylinder to reflect what we need as a naming system for FBX to convert. Okay, so for when we export it. So UCX underscore. Now our mesh is called SBC arch, using underscores. Don't use spaces because otherwise you're gonna have problems. So here we go, S underscore BC underscore arch, and as a suffix I'm going to put 01 because we're going to have 3 collision meshes. So happy with that? Yep, that'll do me. Now next thing we're going to do is make a copy of this collision mesh to put it over there. So we're going to go duplicate objects. I should have just clicked where it was, but never mind. First thing we're going to do before I forget is change the name of this UCX mesh. Now as you can see there, Blender's added a 001. I don't want that, I want 02. Okay, and let's get it into the position where we need, or the location I should say. Minus 96 and 64 up. There we go, smashing. Now next thing we need is a box to go along the top there. Now you might have noticed so far I haven't bothered with UV mapping the collisions or adding materials to the collision meshes. You don't have to. In fact, you're probably better off not doing it. Okay, so it doesn't get confused. So where was it? Oh yeah, need a box. So Shift A, add a cube. That gives us the sizes, well, a start off size that we want. In fact, what I really need is no X. I need to be 256. Wrong. I'll get there eventually. 32. Y needs to be 256. Yay. And Z needs to be 32. Now, location I need for this to be at 144. No, not that high. There we go. And it's up there. So now we have our static mesh Blender content arch, and oh, nearly made a boo-boo. I forgot to change the name of this collision box for the top. Okay, so let's just very quickly UCX S BC arch underscore 03. Happy? Yep. Now, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to select our normal mesh first, and then press P and box select the other bits. Okay, so before we do anything else, we're going to save as, now you can tell I've done this before, can't you? Okay, and we're going to export as a FBX. Now again, you can see I've done this before. I like to test me systems out before I show you. It stops me make me look like a fool. Okay, so that's happy with that. We're just going to leave that as it is. I'm not going to close it down. So I'm now going to go into UDK, go find my Blender folder, basics, FBX arch, open, I should say. Now I'm not going to bother changing any of these because we ain't got morph targets, we ain't got laws, we might need to deal with these sort of things later, but not at the moment. Click open, OK, and as you can see here we've got a nice arch. Now I'm just going to turn this round. As you can see, we've got two UV channels, so many triangles, vertices, blah 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 blah. What about the collision box that I was going on about? Well, to see that, you want to go up to View and then Collisions, and now you can see our collision. If I try and, there we go, we can see it nice and pretty there. 6-sided cylinders, okay, boxes, 6-sided cylinders, and just to confirm, now I haven't got my other texture or material in there, so we're just going to have to use this one. Looks really cool. Yeah, another little trick, sorry, if you don't like this thumbnail, just in case you've never seen this before, no, that's a Blender rotate. Move the mesh as you wish with the right button, scrolling or whatever, and go up to Tool, click on Tool, Save Thumbnail Angle. That's cool. I like that. I'll close that. See, there we go, it updates. Doesn't look good at the moment because we've got a crappy texture, but anyway. So very quickly save that, save the package. What I'm going to do now, that's what I was going to do, I was going to bring it out into my Blender test map so we can actually see it in game. Go on, get out of the way. And that's something I completely forgot to tell you about. Very quickly. Now let's just hide this. Now obviously when I made this arch, I made 2 cylinders and a box to go on top, and I used join to join them together. Now if you quickly flip over here, you will see the origin of my mesh I've got down in the bottom in the middle. Yeah, jumps back into Blender very quickly. Now once I join the mesh together, I then very quickly went to 3D cursor location, reset all to defaults, make sure it's on 0, 0, 0, and then you go to origin and origin to 3D cursor. Yeah, and that will set the origin, or the pivot point as we like to say, of the complete mesh to 0, 0, 0. Important, trust me. We'll deal with that again when we get onto things like weapons and vehicles. But anyway, here we go, we've got it there, and as you can see, snap into grid. Yeah, that's why it's important. Okay, so let's just build all. Let me burble on about while it's doing its bits and pieces here. Now I think let me just check, because I think I may have turned off global illumination. Yes, I did. Do it again. Now because I turned off global illumination, you're not getting swarms starting and light mass, which means it doesn't use the second UV channel for the light maps. It'll build a lot quicker, but won't look as good. So anyway, where was I? That's right. The reason why it's important to have on a static mesh the origin at, or the pivot point for the mesh at 0, 0, 0, it makes it so much easier for snapping and map building for everybody. Okay, so you're the guy that, unless you're actually modeling, texturing, building the map, doing it all in one, like what I normally do, but anyway, if your map builder is trying to put a map together and the origins are not 0, 0, 0, it can get very annoying and he will get very upset with you. Okay, so there we go, smash it. Just quickly save that and go for a quick playing game. Here we go, super wide screen. Hey, look at that. Cool. Yep, straight under it. Now if I just hit the tab and go into behind view, and we'll just see. Now I mentioned about sizes in one of my other videos. Yeah, you can bibble straight under that, not a problem. Okay, that's it for this one. So it's just a very quick on how to make your collision boxes. Let's just unhide them. You don't have to join your collision boxes together, just make sure they're named correctly. I suppose you could have 20, but then again it might be an idea to break down your box, your mesh in that sense. Try to keep them as simple as possible, makes things a lot easier on your machine and everybody else's. Okay, so that's it for today, and I'll see you soon with more stuff. Okay then, bye bye now.